Hello, hi, and welcome back to Ocal for Local. Today I will be having Nicola Daphne as a guest. She's a well known makeup artist and hair expert in and around Mangalore. Along with her husband, she also co owns One More Rep, a unisex gym which is located in Mangalore. I will add in her here and let's chit chat with her.
So
Hello.
sorry. Yeah, Fiona, hi.
Okay. Yeah. So next question was any tip for healthy skin and healthy hair? One is drink water, obviously, for healthy skin.
Yeah. So, any tip? Okay. So, internally, I've told you what you are inside reflects outside. And I've also mentioned earlier that, while going to the bed, always use a moisturizer and a lip balm. Just do not sleep. And one more thing is cleanse your face at least twice a day. Cleanse it thoroughly with whatever face wash that suits your skin type, be it anything, whatever suits you. You know the best what suits your skin type. So cleanse it thoroughly twice. Make sure even after you wake up in the morning, you have to wash it with a cleanser, just not with the water, because when we sleep, there's a lot of oils that accumulate on our face. So it's not that only once you go out of come out. Come inside from outside, only then you have to wash. It's not like that. Even once you wake up in the morning, you've got to wash your face with a cleanser to remove all the oil that is secreted, during when we sleep. And obviously, after coming back from outside, you have to cleanse your skin if possible. Do double cleansing. That actually helps for acne prone skin, because just one time cleansing might not really work. So do a double cleansing. Like first you kind of remove your makeup, or even if you don't wear a makeup, just use any micellar water or anything, just remove your basic dirt from your face, and then cleanse it thoroughly with a good face wash. That is one thing. And daytime, before you step out of the house, it's very, very important to use a sunscreen lotion. That is very, very important. Never miss sunscreen lotion. It's okay even if you miss your lipstick or mascara for a day, but never ever miss a good sunscreen lotion with a good at least SPF 50 to 60, I would suggest, because SPF 50 and SPF 20 wouldn't work. You'll have to reapply it every now and then, and nobody has time to reapply it twice or thrice a day. So
Yes.
you sunscreen lotion, be it matte or a gel form or whatever suits your skin type again, whatever suits you again, but use something with a SPF 50 or SPF 60. That is the thing,
Okay.
and
And a
it's very
tip for healthy hair?
sorry.
Any tip for healthy hair?
Healthy hair. Okay. One thing is stress matters a lot. Okay. So the minute you stress out, it shows on your hair and skin, even on hair, very badly. So first of all, try to be stress free. I know it's difficult. We tell that be stress free, but it's not possible. But at least try to be stress free. And then yeah, oil your hair well at least once a week. I would recommend definitely oiling your hair once a week, if not daily. Nobody has time to oil the hair daily. But one important thing is, please do not step out of the house with oil in your hair. Okay, because the minute you go out with oily hair or a greasy hair, the dirt attracts. That can cause frizziness, dandruff, leading to a lot of hair fall issues. So if you're using oil when you're at home, just apply the oil, whichever oil you prefer or according to the type of your problem, and massage it for 15 minutes, either by yourself or ask someone to massage it for you. Keep it for 35 minutes or 1 hour max, 1 or 2 hours max, and just wash it off well. Do this at least once a week. At least once a week is recommended. If you want to do more than that, it's very nice. But at least once a week, oiling is very important. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for these tips for the healthy skin and healthy hair.
Food matters. A lot of nutritious food, veggies. Please add vegetables. Good skin, good hair. Please add at least 2 to 3 vegetables in your diet daily. That's also very important. Not only chicken and fish.
Yes, yes. Moving on. Now in this pandemic situation, pandemic thing, lockdown and all. Of course, there were the weddings and you had clients. So how did you cope up with the situation? The precautionary measures taken apart from using gloves and masks. What was the precaution measures taken? Relating to the beauty products or the brush, sanitizing the brush or something. Any measures taken?
Okay, yeah, definitely. First of all, sanitization was in practice even before this corona came into existence. Because coming to the sanitizing our hands, I always have this habit of carrying a sanitizer. I think from almost 2008 or something like that. I don't know why I always used to carry a bottle of sanitizer in my handbag. And back then, all my friends used to make fun of me, telling, "Why don't you go and wash your hands?" I mean, even if I wash my hands, I come back and sanitize. It's kind of a habit for me. So back then, everyone used to make fun of me, but now, sanitizer is been up. It's very normal. It's a new normal. So sanitizing,
Necessity.
yeah, necessity, of course. So sanitizing hands and sanitizing brushes and products was practiced even before this corona came into existence, because that is a common thing. Even when we did our course, they taught us, before you touch the client's skin, you got to sanitize your hands, and before you use any brushes on the other client, you have to sanitize the old brushes, I mean the brushes, before you use it on the other client. So that is a common thing that was followed anyways, otherwise also. And coming to makeup thing, yeah, the basic measures are always taken. And my salon is never crowded anyways, because I work on appointments. So this social distancing is anyways not an issue. And coming to the products, sanitization, I definitely, while using the lipsticks and all that stuff, we definitely kind of scoop it out and then use it. But I use this makeup disinfectant spray. You get something called as a makeup disinfectant spray. So for the products like eyeshadows and blushes, where you actually cannot scoop out and use it. Once you're done using it, the brushes anyways, you can wash it or sanitize it using your sanitizer or your alcohol washing setting spray. But for the makeup thing, you get something called as a makeup disinfectant spray. So after use your eyeshadows, and you just need to spray it, and they kind of kill all the germs and all that viruses. So I do that, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is how you cope up with the situation right now.
Yes. And coming to the
Okay.
basic other thing, the combs and everything is, sterilized after every client's use. The towels. I mean, that is all the basic thing which we would do it anyways, otherwise, even if there is no corona. That is a basic cleanliness and hygiene thing we have to follow. That's how it is.
Yes. Okay. So speaking about the bride, okay. So do you suggest brides to, do their facial, hair treatment and all before their big day, before coming for the makeup and hair?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely expect, and I definitely like to meet the bride in person before, their big day, to discuss their looks. And definitely in photos, it's different. So I always meet them in person once they, whenever they are in town, and we'll be discussing the looks and all that. I also get to get a chance to see them, how exactly they are, how their skin is, basically, how their hair is. So I definitely suggest them to do, what I suggest from my side for a bride is definitely get a facial done. Facial in sense, whatever suits your skin type. It could be a clinical facial or with a beauty therapist, depending on your choice. And very important is, get rid of the excess facial hair. That is very, very important. You need to have a clean canvas if you need a smooth flow of foundation in your skin. So the basic facial and the bleaching or detanning, and threading, keeping your face basically neat and clean. Threading of your eyebrows, upper lip, forehead. If you have excess facial hair, basically, definitely get your manicure and pedicure, which is very important. Get a waxing done. So these are the basic necessities I recommend for a bride. And hair, of course, you can go for a hair spa or an oil massage. That is basically to mainly to relax, because the brides will definitely be so stressed due to all this
Yes.
thing. So yeah, so a good head massage actually kind of relieves a lot of stress. It kind of calms. So those are the basic things that I recommend the brides to do. Then other than that, the body massage, the body facial, body bleach, that is subjective to them. I don't force them.
Up to them. Yeah.
Up to them. But otherwise, good facial, removal of facial hair, basically, that is very important. And yeah, keeping your nails and toe tails trim, that is very important. I suggest that. Yeah.
Okay. So this is good. So do you provide all these services,
Yeah,
like
I do
pre-wedding
provide all the
services of a
services,
facial?
but it's all on appointments, because
Okay.
I only work on appointments. So I do provide all the services, but on appointments. Yeah. Because I personally handle the clients. So it's
Okay.
difficult. They come, they simply have to wait. So I always tell, come take appointments and please come. That's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I wanted to ask. Do you have assistants? Because during seasons you'll be having many brides in a day, actually, a morning,
Yeah.
afternoon, and then night, evening. So how do you cope up with this? Do you have assistants?
I do. I only have one assistant. to be honest, because makeup I personally handle, because all my brides want me only to do makeup on their big day. So makeup I only handle. I do have a hair assistant who's trained by me. So, and she's pretty good at it. So I just need to tell her. But definitely my clients, they're okay if I'm there with them, because I'll be there to guide. So I just need to, they just want my presence when it comes to hair. So I just tell her, do this, 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 she does. So but makeup, I only handle. I know it's very difficult, but during the season time, especially, there are times when I handle like 5 to 6 brides in a day. But that is how it is. Yeah.
Okay. So while speaking about all these clients, what do you suggest the brides, to come to your studio, or is it easier to do it in their house at their convenience?
I always suggest my brides to come to my studio. I do not give home services for in-city Mangalore brides. Only if it's outside Mangalore, like Udupi, Karkal, Bhatkal, all. I do freelancing, but otherwise, if it's a Mangalore bride, I always suggest them to come to my studio because I feel it's more convenient. Reason because one thing is the setting, the light settings. Because see, for me, the professional makeup and hair, it takes a lot of time, and you need to do it properly. It takes good 3 to 4 hours for a bride. For me personally, if I have to handle a bride, it takes good 3 to 4 hours. The makeup would take good 1.5 hour, and hair would take another 1.5 hour. And other than that, your whatever. But yeah, 3 to 4 hours. So you need to have a good setting of lights, proper lights, and AC is very important because for both of us, because even the bride will start sweating, and everything is in my studio, everything is arranged according to my convenience. So I can do it quickly. And the privacy is a very, very important thing. Like anyone, all my viewers, don't get me wrong, but privacy is very important. It's not like 10 minutes work, where we just go and put in some color and just come. So privacy is very important. So, and one more important thing is my instruments, like my blow dryer, my tools, my blow dryer, and these are all very heavily high watts. So usually when we go home, the minute I switch on the dryer, they are
It's trip. It gets
so
stripped.
and I cannot it's just like prepping your hair. I cannot do my hairstyle without blow drying or curling and all that. Bridal hairstyle, you definitely need to use tools. And then they'll start yelling that because of your dryer, this is gone, that. I mean, that is how it is. I mean, I can't help it. So I definitely prefer for the brides to come to my studio for both our comfort, so that I can give my best. And even if I'm doing freelancing, I tell my brides first only that these are the main. It's not wants; it's basically the necessity that is required.
Requirements.
Yeah. So I tell them so they understand. So they make sure everything is set. If they don't have that kind of facilities at their house, then they are sweet enough to book a room, because even they want a piece of peacefully they want to
Yes.
get ready. So that's how it is. But definitely, if you're from Mangalore, I would definitely ask them to come to my studio.
So how do you cope up with the bookings? Because when it comes speaking about seasons, obviously, like there are a lot of brides who will be inquiring and all. So how do you book your client? Like on what basis? Is it required to pay advance and then book you, or just the date is fine, or they need to come and meet you and then the booking is done, or anything like that?
See, it's what happens is if they are in town, definitely I ask them to come and meet me. But I get a lot of brides who are, from abroad or outstation or wherever. So I have a personal conversation with them either through Instagram or WhatsApp or through calls, and I tell them the thing. I ask them to go through my page and all that stuff. Either they'll be recommended by someone or they'll come across my page. Definitely they go through my page and all that thing. And then I tell them, if you're sure to go ahead and do a advance booking. Pay an advance basically. So they have to pay a part of it as an advance payment. And I also tell them the advance is non-refundable and non-transferable, because that slot is reserved for that particular bride. So if you happen to cancel it, because then I won't be able to return the advance or transfer the amount. Reason because I might get other brides at the same time whose booking I might have not taken because of you. So I have lost my business
Yes.
here. So if they are okay to go with it, I tell them if you're sure only, go ahead and do an advance payment. And yeah, definitely ask them to come and meet me. They can meet me anytime once their booking is done before their wedding. There are some brides who are not able to meet me also. they've come last moment and they sat in front of me and like, okay, Nicola, do whatever you want. So there are few brides who have done that also. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. I just need like 5 minutes of discussion here and there. So that is fine. But yeah, if you want to book me, an advance payment is a must because the slot is reserved for the bride. Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you this question. Do you take class? Do you take makeup class, hair class, and do you have students?
Yes, I do take up makeup classes and hair classes as well. Hair class in the sense I do not teach hair cutting, haircut and chemical services I do not teach, but I do teach hair related to bridal party and all that stuff. And I do take up makeup classes. I just finished my one course in fact today. I just finished with one of my student today. So I do take up makeup classes. It's one-on-one classes most of the times, and I do take it only during off season. Like this year, most of the seasons are off because of the corona thing. Otherwise, usually I take up classes around March. March month is one off season kind of a month where I don't have a lot of brides. And then probably July, August, it's kind of a little dull.
Rainy season.
Yeah, so I do take up students.
Now, you also own a unisex gym along with your husband.
Yes.
It's called One More Rep. So how did this start? From a makeup, I don't know the profession of your husband, but still you're into a makeup. So makeup to a gym. So how did this start?
Yeah, my husband is also a hair artist. He's a hairstylist. But it was, to start a gym was only his decision because he always wanted to own a gym. I wouldn't say he's much into fitness, to be honest. It would be wrong because the people who know me and they would. But yeah, I mean, he's interested, but he's very ambitious to, he always had this dream of owning a gym, of having his own gym. He likes to explore into a lot of business. So yeah, that's how it started, and I just joined hands with him because I love fitness anyways. So that's how it started.
So how long it has been, since it started?
The gym, we are gonna complete 3 years successfully this January. It's going to be 3 years.
Okay. Okay. So do you have any special offer or discount for the couples or for the students or anything like that?
Yeah, we do have a lot of offers. Otherwise also our rates are comparatively pretty good because I think One More Rep was, I think now there are a lot of other gyms, but initially when we started off, it was one of the gym. It's in the mid segment range. So it's not like, because see, there will be normally 2 types of gym. One will be very low class, very early, it's nothing with great equipment.
Yes.
That's what I mean. High class in the sense that it will be, it's very expensive. The membership and all is too expensive, maybe 20,000, 30,000 a year or 40,000 depending. So nobody would want to go, a middle class person basically wouldn't be able to pay 20 or 30,000 for an annual membership. Or even a monthly membership used to be like 3,000, 4,000 and all that. And if it's a low class gym, then yeah, the membership will be very cheap, but a middle class person wouldn't actually like to because of the equipments are not nice or there wouldn't be proper facilities and all that thing. So when we came up with this gym, we came up considering the middle class segment in mind, so it's not like a person who is in a middle class thing would still like to have all the facilities, a good decent gym. So that's how we started. So the equipments are the top quality ones and all the facilities. So we have 2 segments, the AC as well as non-AC segment, and the equipments are of good class. So we already have about 1,500 to 2,000 footfall already members in our gym. So that's how it is. And offers, we keep coming up with offers depending on that. Otherwise also the normal rates are pretty attractive. It's not like way too expensive that a middle class person cannot afford.
Yes. Sure. Yeah, Nicola, we are at the end of this program. Yes, I wanted to ask one word about this program and your experience being here as a guest.
I enjoyed it, to be honest, because to be honest, I've never done any live interactions on Instagram. This is my first show. As a person, I'm an introvert. I might, otherwise I can talk, but otherwise by nature, I'm an introvert. So, but I think this was a show where I could, just speak my heart out. I don't have to prepare anything or, fake anything or anything like that. I just spoke what is truth and what is reality. That is how. So I definitely enjoyed it. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Nicola, thank
Yes.
you so much once again for being here.
Thank you. Thanks to you too. Have a good evening.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.